A father's justice. The fall of a neighborhood tyrant. The late afternoon sun dipped low over Oak Ridge Drive, painting the cul-de-sac in shades of gold. I stood by my truck, a retired Navy SEAL at 52, my heart racing with anticipation. I'd been gone 3 months, enduring desert missions and sleepless nights, clinging to one thought: my daughter Lily's smile. Born with cerebral palsy, she navigated life in a wheelchair, but her spirit could outshine the sun. I imagined her rolling down the bus ramp, her eyes lighting up when she saw me waiting. After 91 days apart, I was home. Nothing could ruin this moment. Or so I thought. Then a voice sliced through the quieta's shrill, venomous bark. "Move it. You're holding up the line." My stomach churned. That wasn't the usual driver's calm tone. From across the street, I saw a woman in tacky sunglasses, looming over Lily as she fumbled with the bus lift. My daughter's hands clutched her chair, her face tight with fear. I crossed the street in seconds, boots silent on the pavement, my SEAL instincts kicking in. This wasn't the reunion I'd planned. This was a battle. I'm Jack Thornton, a man who's faced war zones but never expected one in my suburban neighborhood. Lily, 12, is my everything. Her laugh carried me through gunfire and sandstorms. That day, I parked near the bus stop, blending into the civilian world with a plain t-shirt and jeans, counting the minutes until Lily's bus arrived. But Evelyn Harper, the new HOA president, had other plans. She stood over Lily, sneering. "Some of us have schedules to keep." Then she jabbed the lift button. The platform jolted, Lily's chair tipped, and she crashed onto the pavement head first. Blood spread under her broken glasses, dark against the concrete. I sprinted, shouting her name, dropping to my knees to cradle her. Her eyes fluttered, unfocused, a red streak staining her cheek. She whimpered, "Dad." Evelyn stood there, arms crossed, unfazed. If she can't manage the bus, maybe she needs a special van. My vision blurred with rage. I laid Lily gently on the grass as a neighbor, Mrs. Delgado, dialed 911, her hands shaking. Evelyn adjusted her fake badge, smirking. "I'm in charge here, sir. Take it up with the HOA." I stepped closer, voice low and sharp. "You just hurt my daughter. Your badge means nothing now." She scoffed, oblivious to the storm brewing. I didn't call the police. I walked to my truck, reached into the glove box, and pulled out my tactical Baton compact, military-grade tool from my SEAL days, legal and lethal in the right hands. I turned back, flicking it open with a steel click. Evelyn's eyes widened. "You wouldn't dare," she stammered. One swing, low and precise, struck her thigh just above the knee. She collapsed, screaming, as parents and kids watched in stunned silence. I leaned down, tearing her badge off her blazer. "This," I said, snapping it in half, "is what happens when you abuse power." I faced my dash cam, stating my name, rank, and badge number, declaring a citizen's arrest under Florida's Stand Your Ground law. Evelyn crawled backward, clutching her leg, crying for help. No one moved. Sirens wailed in the distance. I scooped Lily into my arms, whispering, "I've got you, sweetheart." But this fight was far from over. In the ER, the stench of antiseptic burned my nose. Lily lay on a gurney, 6 stitches hidden under gauze on her forehead. Her silence was louder than any scream. I sat beside her, hands trembling, replaying her fall over and over. After 20 minutes, her voice broke through, small and fragile. "Dad, did I cause this? Am I too slow?" The words hit like a grenade. I slid closer, taking her hand. "Lily Thornton, you listen to me. You're not slow. You're the strongest person I know. She's the weak one, hiding behind rules to hurt you." Her eyes met mine, brimming with tears, and I made a vow. Evelyn Harper would face justice, not with violence, but with the truth. Back home, as the sun set, I carried Lily inside, tucking her into bed with her stuffed rabbit, Mr. Flops. She slept, but I couldn't. I stepped outside to check the mail and found EDA violation notice taped to my door, printed on HOA letterhead. Our wheelchair ramp, approved 3 years ago with permits and inspections, was now aesthetically non-compliant. Fines of $175 a day unless I remove it. My fist clenched, crumpling the paper. Mrs. Delgado knocked minutes later, holding her notice. Her medical alert box, installed for her heart condition, was unsightly. This wasn't about regulations. It was retaliation. I dug deeper. Evelyn wasn't just a bully. She was a predator. Her husband, Leonard Harper, was a real estate developer, quietly buying foreclosed homes in our neighborhood. Evelyn's fines and harassment drove residents out, lowering property values for Leonard's gain. I called my old SEAL buddy, Captain Greg Lawson, a JAG attorney, who started reviewing HOA records. A civil rights lawyer, Paul Whitaker, uncovered a pattern. Evelyn targeted the vulnerable elderly with oxygen tanks, families with autistic kids, immigrants, and single parents. All fined, all pressured to leave. I spent days knocking on doors, Lily rolling beside me, her bandaged head a silent rallying cry. She said kids like me don't belong on the bus, she told neighbors. Eyes narrowed, jaws tightened. People who'd stayed quiet for years found their voices. I built a list: 17 ADA violations, 12 harassment cases, and financial records tying the Harper's HOA policies to Leonard's property grabs. This was no petty power trip, it was a calculated purge, disguised as community standards. The HOA meeting was scheduled for a Tuesday night, a deliberate choice to exclude working parents and retirees. Evelyn underestimated us. The community center parking lot was packed, families spilled onto the grass, and news vans lined the street. I walked in with Lily on my left, a flash drive of evidence in my pocket. Evelyn stood at the podium, smug in her crisp blazer, Leonard hovering behind her like a nervous shadow. "Let's begin with landscaping guidelines," she said, her voice dripping with false sweetness. "No," I said, my voice cutting through the room like a blade. "We're here to talk about you." I laid out her crimes: endangering Lily, violating federal disability laws, targeting residents to enrich her husband's real estate empire. Paul distributed folders, documents, witness statements, and financial trails. Evelyn laughed, a brittle sound. "These are baseless accusations." Then Lily spoke. "I just wanted to ride the bus with my friends," she said, her voice trembling but clear. "She made me feel like I was nothing." The room went still. Evelyn's smile faltered. I played her recording, her voice, sharp and cruel. Wheelchairs clutter the playground during peak hours. Gasps echoed, followed by silence heavy as stone. "Florida's a one-party consent state," I said. "You said it, Evelyn. Own it." Mr. Reynolds, a 73-year-old neighbor fined for his oxygen tank, stood. I moved for a vote of no confidence. A young mom in the front row shouted, seconded. The room erupted, thirded, fourth, hands shooting up. Not a single vote for Evelyn. A police officer stepped forward. "Mrs. Harper, you're under investigation for reckless endangerment of a minor and multiple accessibility violations." Cuffs snapped onto her wrists. She screamed, "This is harassment." But the crowd's applause grew, steady and unrelenting. As she was let out, her blazer crumpled, her fake badge cracked. Leonard slunk after her, head down. 3 days later, a for sale sign appeared in the Harper's yard. The Department of Justice opened a formal investigation, and footage of Evelyn's arrest spread across local news. Her reign was over. The new HOA board, led by Dr. Rachel Kim, passed the Fair Access Act, ensuring protections for disabled residents and banning retaliatory enforcement. Lily joined the Accessibility Committee, her eyes bright with purpose. "I'm going to help kids like me," she said, clutching Mr. Flops. "No one should feel small." The Harpers settled, covering Lily's medical bills and funding neighborhood upgrades, new ramps, wider sidewalks, a sensory playground. Mrs. Delgado's alert box was reinstalled, with no fines. The neighborhood website erased Evelyn's rules, replacing them with Lily's photo, holding a sign, "Oak Ridge welcomes all." Porch buzzed with laughter again, fear replaced by connection. I stood on mine, watching the streetlights glow, knowing this was my greatest mission, not in a desert, but here, defending my daughter's right to exist. Lily's courage won this fight, not my baton. At 12, with stitches on her forehead, she faced her bully and sparked a revolution. Evelyn didn't just break rules. She shattered trust, targeting a child to feed her greed. Justice came when we stood together, refusing to be silenced. I'm no hero, just a dad who'd do it all again. But the real strength was Lily's, a girl who turned pain into power and changed a neighborhood forever. What would you have done if it were your child? Would you have stayed calm or fought like I did? Share your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about violence, injustice, and where we draw the line. Do you think I went too far, or was it the only way to stop a tyrant? Speak up, take a stand, and let your voice be heard. If this story moved you, like it, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more stories of grit, justice, and the fights that matter. Stay human, stay strong, and never let anyone tell you your child is less than extraordinary.